The massive alien vessel materialized over Beijing without warning. No radar detection, no atmospheric disturbance. It simply appeared, hanging like a metallic teardrop against the morning sky. Commander Maya Chen was eating breakfast in the officers' mess when the alarm sounded. By the time she reached the command center of the Pan-Asian Defense Coalition headquarters, fighter jets were already scrambling. She watched as the first wave approached the vessel, weapons locked. All units, weapons tight, General Zhao ordered. I repeat, weapons tight. Maya studied the tactical display. Sir, Raven Squadron is not responding to commands. On the monitor, the fighters drifted harmlessly past the alien ship, their weapon systems offline. Whatever the visitors were, they possessed technology that rendered Earth's defenses useless. They're broadcasting, a communications officer announced. All frequencies, all languages simultaneously. The message was simple. We come as friends. We are the Galactic Concord. Within 6 hours, Maya found herself inside Beijing's Forbidden City, now the site of first contact. Ambassador Telrix of the Concord, a tall, elegant being with silvery skin that rippled like water, addressed the hastily assembled diplomatic team. Humanity is the 127th sentient species discovered in our galaxy, Telrix said, tendrils of light dancing between their elongated fingers. We have watched your development with great interest. Maya studied the alien with professional suspicion. As military liaison to the diplomatic corps, her job was to identify threats. Something about Telrix's careful phrasing troubled her. The chaos began during the formal reception that evening. Maya spotted a man moving against the flow of the crowd, hand reaching inside his jacket. Without hesitation, she tackled him just as he drew a weapon. They crashed through a decorative screen as the weapon discharged, missing Telrix by inches. Death to the deceivers, the man screamed as security dragged him away. They bring chains disguised as friendship. Telrix approached Maya as she dusted herself off. Your intervention was unexpected. Most species hesitate before risking themselves for others, especially those not of their kind. I'm just doing my job, Maya replied. Indeed. Something flickered across Telrix's mercurial features. Perhaps you would be valuable in our continued discussions. That night, Maya found herself promoted from background security to the diplomatic inner circle. Telrix presented the Universal Treaty, a document signed by all 126 other civilizations, governing everything from technology sharing to territorial boundaries. The treaty has maintained peace for over 10,000 years, Telrix explained. Earth's participation would bring many benefits. While the diplomats celebrated this apparent honor, Maya noticed one of Telrix's aides frantically concealing documents as she approached. Later, when the reception ended, she used her new clearance to return to the meeting room. The treaty lay unattended on the central table. Maya flipped through the massive document until she found what the aide had hidden, a special appendix labeled Human Exceptions. Unlike the main treaty, translated into perfect English, these pages remained in an alien script, but the diagrams were clear enough. Human ships restricted from certain sectors, human colonies prohibited on specific world types, human access to technologies permitted to other species explicitly denied. You shouldn't be here, Commander Chen. Maya turned to find Telrix watching from the doorway, their silver skin now rippling with dark patterns, their species equivalent of anger. Why are there exceptions just for humans? Maya demanded. What makes us different? You would not understand. Telrix's voice had lost its diplomatic smoothness. Try me. Before Telrix could answer, security burst in, both human and alien. Maya found herself escorted out, her new clearance revoked. But as they led her away, she caught Telrix's final whisper to an aide. They cannot know what they once were. The galaxy would not survive their awakening a second time. 3 months after first contact, Maya found herself aboard the Concord vessel Harmonious Exchange, bound for Nexus Station. Her official demotion to cultural attaché fooled no one, but she'd leveraged her first contact heroics into a position on Earth's first delegation. Incredible that they'd still include you after your breach of protocol, Dr. Sanvi Kapoor whispered as they stared out the viewport at the swirling hyperspace conduit. The exobiologist had become Maya's only ally among the diplomats. They needed a scapegoat who still knows how to follow orders, Maya replied. Besides, who better to keep an eye on than the troublemaker? The ship emerged from hyperspace near a massive artificial structure, Nexus Station. Unlike the elegant teardrop of Telrix's ship, the station was a chaotic collection of environments, each section clearly designed by different species for different physiological needs. Welcome to the heart of the Concord, Telrix announced. 126 species, now 127 with humanity's arrival. The delegation was escorted through bewildering environments. Chambers filled with colorful mists housing gaseous intelligences, aquatic sections containing cephalopod-like diplomats, even a crystalline garden where silicon-based entities communicated through light patterns. During a formal reception, Maya slipped away. Using access codes she'd memorized from watching Telrix, she located the treaty archives, a vast repository of data crystals. Finding the human exceptions took precious minutes. Sector exclusions, technology restrictions, mandatory observers, she muttered, scanning the translated text. It's like we're under probation for crimes we haven't committed. Because your crimes occurred before your memory, came a resonant voice. Maya spun to find herself facing a massive entity resembling a bison crossed with a bear, clad in ornate armor. Security Chief Kavorn, the being introduced itself. And you are the troublesome human, Commander Chen. Before Maya could respond, alarms blared. Kavorn gestured. Come. The archives are locking down. He led her through service corridors until they encountered Sanvi, frantically searching for Maya. They know you accessed restricted information, Sanvi whispered. Telrix is furious. Kavorn's massive head swiveled. Worse, the inner circle has convened. Minutes later, Maya and Sanvi stood before 12 representatives of the Concord's founding species. Telrix paced before them, skin rippling with patterns Maya now recognized as agitation. Commander Chen has violated security protocols, Telrix announced. She accessed restricted information regarding human exceptions. I merely sought to understand why my species alone faces restrictions. Maya countered. Is seeking truth a crime in the Concord? A being composed of interlocking golden rings rotated in apparent annoyance. Tell them, Telrix. This secrecy serves no purpose. It merely delays the inevitable. Telrix's surface stilled to mirror-like perfection. Very well. Humans are physiologically unique among known sentients. Your environmental adaptability exceeds all other species by factors of magnitude. A holographic display activated, showing comparative physiological data. Humans can endure radiation levels that kill most species. Your immune systems adapt to pathogens with unprecedented speed. Your endurance, particularly your thermal regulation and ability to recover from injury, borders on the unnatural. Maya frowned. You're containing us because we're tough. Not merely tough, said a crystalline entity, light pulsing through its facets. Your species possesses unusual psychological traits. Your capacity for violence paired with your problem-solving abilities and social cohesion makes humans. It paused, searching for the word. Unpredictable. The exceptions exist because we fear what humans might become, Telrix admitted. Your potential evolutionary path threatens the balance of power that has maintained peace for millennia. A sudden commotion interrupted the session. A security alert. As guards rushed to respond, Maya's translator implant picked up a side conversation between two counselors, speaking in their native tongue. The humans still don't remember what they once were. Pray to the void, they never do. We need allies, Maya whispered to Sanvi as they navigated Nexus Station's lower levels. 2 weeks had passed since their confrontation with the Inner Circle, and security monitoring had intensified. Kavorn might help us, Sanvi suggested. He seemed different from the others. They found the massive security chief in a recreation chamber designed for high-gravity species. Kavorn was hurling weighted spheres at targets with devastating accuracy. "The troublesome humans," he rumbled, catching a sphere that would have crushed Maya effortlessly. "Coming to cause more diplomatic incidents." "Coming to say thank you," Maya replied. "You could have arrested me in the archives. You didn't." Kavorn's ridged brow furrowed. "I owe you a debt. When the environmental controls malfunctioned in the nursery sector, you saved my youngest offspring from toxic atmosphere exposure. You risked your health for an alien child." "Anyone would have," Maya began. "No," Kavorn interrupted. "Most species would not. Your exceptions in the treaty. They are not entirely unfounded." The massive alien led them through service corridors to a secure chamber. "What I show you violates protocol," he warned, activating a data terminal. Ancient star charts appeared, highlighting a region labeled the Unbound Expanse. 50,000 of your years ago, this sector was controlled by a species physiologically identical to humans, Kavorn explained. "The records call them the Unbound. They'd vanished following a cataclysmic event that nearly destroyed galactic civilization." Maya's pulse quickened. "You're saying humans once had an interstellar civilization. The genetic markers are unmistakable. Whether through deliberate regression or catastrophe, your species was reset. Who would have the technology to do that?" Sanvi asked. "The same individual who might have answers," Kavorn replied. "Dr. Elias Reeves." They found Reeves in Nexus Station's Archaeological Repository, a cavernous warehouse of artifacts from extinct civilizations. The human scientist had clearly gone native, his lab coat adorned with alien symbols, his workspace cluttered with incomprehensible devices. "Commander Chen," Reeves greeted her, eyes unnervingly intense. "I wondered when you'd find me. You know who I am. I know what you represent." Reeves gestured around his lab. "I've spent 30 years collecting these artifacts, all designed for human hands, human eyes, human neural patterns." He activated a holoprojector, showing a genetic comparison. Human DNA matches samples recovered from Unbound ruins with 99.7% accuracy. "Not descendants, identical. Why keep this from us?" Sanvi demanded. "Politics," Reeves sighed. "Before the Unbound disappeared, they were feared. Some records call them harbingers, beings of unprecedented adaptability and technological mastery." Maya frowned. "The Concord fears will follow the same path. They fear what made you different in the first place," Reeves replied cryptically. A sudden explosion rocked the repository. Through smoke and debris, 6 different alien species charged in, weapons drawn. "Multiple contact teams," Kavorn growled, drawing his own weapon. "Someone doesn't want this conversation to continue." Reeves shoved a data crystal into Maya's hand as weapons fire erupted around them. "The full history, encrypted in your neural patterns. Only you can unlock it." "What do you mean?" Maya shouted over the chaos. Blood blossomed across Reeves' chest as energy beams struck him. He collapsed into Maya's arms, eyes locking with hers. "Humanity wasn't contained because of what you might become," he gasped, blood bubbling at his lips. "You were contained because of what you once were, the guardians who sacrificed everything." His eyes glazed over as Kavorn pulled Maya away from his body. "We must move. Now." As they fled, Maya clutched the crystal, mind reeling. The exceptions in the treaty weren't about containment. They were about ensuring humans never remembered their true purpose. Pain greeted Maya as consciousness returned. She was in a sterile medical bay, her head throbbing where her neural implant had been surgically removed. A Concord physician, a willowy being with 4 arms, adjusted something in her IV line. "Where am I?" Maya croaked. "Where's Sanvi?" "Commander Chen," said a voice she recognized. Telric stepped into view. "You are aboard the medical ship Benevolent Mending. Dr. Kapoor's location is not your concern." "What happened?" "A terrorist attack on Nexus Station," Telrix replied, skin patterns shifting in what Maya now recognized as distress. 273 casualties, including most of Earth's delegation. Maya struggled to sit up. I need to contact Earth, warn them. About the attack, Telrix interrupted. They've been informed, and also about the perpetrators. A holographic display activated, showing security footage of Maya and Sonvoy in the archives. Then meeting with Kforn, then Reeves. The final image showed Maya clutching the data crystal, while Reeves lay dead at her feet. Quite damning, Telrix observed. Human extremists, conspiring with a rogue archaeologist and a corrupt security chief to steal classified technology. That's a lie, Maya snarled. We were attacked. Your trial begins tomorrow. The Concord is already implementing emergency protocols regarding Earth. All human vessels have been grounded. Human settlements outside Sol will host permanent Concord security detachments. When Telrix left, Maya tested her restraints. Too secure. Hours passed before the doors slid open again, revealing an unexpected visitor, Kforn, in full security regalia. You've got nerve showing up here, Maya growled. Save your anger, the massive alien replied, deactivating her restraints. We have 4 minutes before the security system resets. As they moved through the ship's corridors, Kforn explained in hushed tones. The attack was orchestrated by the Veil Hegemony, a faction within the Concord obsessed with evolutionary purity. They've manipulated events since first contact. Why? Because humans represent something they cannot control. He handed her a compact weapon. The crystal Reeves gave you contained more than history. It held coordinates. They reached a small hangar bay where a shuttle waited. Sonvi? Maya asked. Kvorn's expression darkened. Being held with other humans at a facility in the Arcturus sector, the hegemony is experimenting on them. Experimenting. Extracting and weaponizing human biological material. Your adaptability makes you valuable templates. A security alert blared. Kvorn shoved Maya toward the shuttle. Go. Find the facility. The coordinates are pre-programmed. You're not coming. I will create a diversion. The massive alien's features softened momentarily. My species values honor above life, Commander. The Concord I swore to protect would never permit what the hegemony is doing. The shuttle launched automatically, narrowly evading pursuit ships. As Maya struggled to understand the alien controls, a blinding pain shot through her skull, where her neural implant had been. Vivid images flooded her mind, not memories, yet impossibly familiar. Humans in sleek armor, fighting alongside alien allies against a living darkness that consumed light itself. A desperate last stand on a burning world as the darkness seethed around them. A final sacrifice as humans unleashed weapons that saved the galaxy but doomed themselves. The visions faded as the shuttle entered hyperspace. Maya's hands trembled as she realized what had happened. The damaged implant had partially unlocked the data Reeves transferred to her neural patterns. She wasn't remembering her own past, but the genetic memory of what humans once were. And with that understanding came a terrible clarity. The hegemony wasn't just containing humans. They were exploiting the very adaptability they claimed to fear, the adaptability engineered into humanity for a purpose long forgotten. The shuttle emerged from hyperspace inside a massive nebula, a swirling cloud of cosmic dust that blocked sensors and masked their position. Ahead loomed a structure so vast it dwarfed Nexus Station, a derelict facility shaped like a wheel with 8 spokes, dark except for occasional flickers of emergency power. Maya maneuvered through a debris field of ancient vessels, their hulls scarred by weapons fire. The shuttle's computer identified an intact docking bay, automatically initiating landing procedures. Authorization required, announced a computerized voice as Maya approached the airlock. Red scanning beams swept over her body. I don't have authorization, Maya replied, expecting to be locked out. Genetic profile recognized. The system responded. Welcome back, Guardian Chen. The doors slid open, revealing corridors designed for human proportions. Emergency lighting activated as she walked, illuminating a facility clearly built for human use. Control panels matched human hand sizes, displays positioned at human eye level, seating designed for human spines. At the center of the facility, Maya found a vast chamber dominated by a holographic projection system. Her approach triggered its activation, and a figure materialized. A woman in an ancient uniform similar to the armor from Maya's visions. Genetic authentication confirmed, the hologram stated. I am Archival Intelligence Epsilon. How may I assist your mission, Guardian? I'm not. Maya hesitated. My name is Maya Chen. I'm a commander in Earth's military. I need to understand what this place is. The AI's expression remained neutral. This is Guardian Station Alpha, constructed 50,321 standard years ago as headquarters for the human Guardian Corps. You carry Guardian genetic markers. Explain discrepancy. Humans lost their history, Maya explained. We were reset somehow, returned to Earth without our technology or memories. Cross-referencing, the AI responded. Contingency Protocol Omega, implemented following final confrontation with the collapse. The chamber darkened as new holograms appeared, historical recordings showing a massive space battle. Human ships fought alongside alien vessels against a formless darkness that seemed to devour light itself. The collapse, Epsilon explained, a non-corporeal intelligence that fed on consciousness. Conventional weapons were ineffective. Only humans possessed the neurological structure to resist its psychic attacks. The recording showed humans in specialized armor engaging the darkness directly. Humans were bioengineered by the progenitors specifically to combat the collapse. The AI continued. Your adaptability, aggression, and unique consciousness patterns made you immune to its influence. When all other species fell, humanity led the final stand. The hologram shifted to show a devastating explosion that pushed the darkness back into intergalactic space. Victory required sacrifice, Epsilon stated. 97% of Guardian forces suffered catastrophic psychological trauma. The survivors chose to implement Omega Protocol, returning to Earth with memories suppressed. The newly formed Concord was tasked with monitoring for the collapse's return, while ensuring humans never remembered the trauma of what they endured. Maya's mind reeled. The exceptions in the treaty were meant to protect, not contain, Epsilon finished. A tragically corrupted intention. Warning klaxons suddenly blared. Multiple vessels detected, Epsilon announced. Concord configurations, hegemony signatures. The AI's expression shifted subtly. You are being hunted, Guardian Chen. I need to rescue captured humans, Maya said urgently. And warn Earth. Protocols require I assist. A hidden door slid open, revealing a chamber containing weapons and armor designed for human neural patterns. The Arsenal Chamber. And beyond it, your inheritance. Through the doorway, Maya glimpsed a sleek black vessel emblazoned with an ancient symbol, a human hand holding a star. The last Guardian battleship, Epsilon said. Designation: Nemesis. The Nemesis responded to Maya's thoughts more than her hands. Neural interfaces in the captain's chair linked directly with her mind, rendering physical controls almost unnecessary. The ancient battleship moved with impossible grace for its size, weapon systems activating with mere intentions. Neural synchronization at 87%, announced the ship's eye, higher than expected for untrained personnel. Maya had no time to ponder this as 3 hegemony cruisers opened fire. Energy weapons lashed out, impacts barely registering on the Nemesis's shields. Threat assessment, Maya asked. Minimal, the AI replied. Concord military technology has advanced only incrementally in 5 millennia. Guardian vessels were designed to withstand attacks from the collapse. Maya focused her thoughts, and the Nemesis responded with precision strikes that disabled the cruiser's propulsion systems without destroying them. As the battleship accelerated to light speed, Maya felt the neural connection deepening, ancient knowledge flowing into her consciousness. The navigational data is decoding, The AI informed her. Genetic memory activation progressing. Images cascaded through Maya's mind. Star charts, tactical protocols, engineering schematics. Knowledge embedded in human DNA, passed down through generations, waiting to be unlocked. Most troubling were the memories of combat against the collapse, the sensation of minds being consumed, the horror of watching entire worlds go dark. The Nemesis emerged from faster-than-light travel near Arcturus, immediately detecting the hegemony facility. Maya guided the ship into stealth approach, the neural interface translating her military training into perfectly executed maneuvers. Inside the facility, she moved like a ghost in Guardian combat armor. The hegemony scientists, most from species Maya didn't recognize, fell back in terror at the sight of a human in ancient battle gear. In the central laboratory, she found Sanvi and 23 other humans suspended in medical tanks, their bodies connected to harvesting equipment. As Maya released them, Sanvi's eyes flickered open. "Maya, you're wearing." "I'll explain later," Maya promised, supporting her friend's weakened body. "We need to move." The Nemesis carried them safely away, the rescued humans recovering in its medical bay. Sanvi studied Maya with concern as genetic memories continued integrating with her consciousness. "You're different," Sanvi observed. "Your eyes, they look older somehow." "I'm remembering things I never experienced," Maya explained. "The Guardian knowledge, it's changing me." "Can you control it?" "I think it's controlling me," Maya admitted. "But it feels right, like finding parts of myself I never knew were missing." As they approached Earth, Maya discovered a Concorde blockade, 20 warships in high orbit, enforcing the quarantine of humanity. Using the Nemesis's communication systems, she broadcast directly to every screen on the planet. "People of Earth," she began, the words flowing from both her training and newly awakened genetic memory. "My name is Commander Maya Chen. What I'm about to tell you has been hidden for 50,000 years." She explained everything. Humanity's origin as warriors engineered to fight the collapse, their ancient sacrifice, the true purpose of the treaty exceptions, and the hegemony's betrayal. "We were not created as conquerors," she concluded. "We were guardians, protectors of all sentient life. Our adaptability, our resilience, our capacity for both violence and compassion. These weren't evolutionary accidents, but weapons against an enemy that threatened all consciousness in the galaxy." The broadcast reached beyond Earth. On worlds across the Concorde, beings who had discovered fragments of this truth watched in silence. The hegemony scrambled to block the transmission, but too many had already seen it. As debate erupted across Earth, some embracing this warrior heritage, others rejecting it, Kvorn's resistance contacts reported disturbing news from the Galactic Rim. Multiple observation posts gone silent after reporting living darkness. A Concorde science vessel's final transmission showed only a black void expanding across their viewscreen. The collapse had returned, and the Concorde's leaders had known for decades. Maya's revelation fractured the Concorde. 7 species, whose ancestors had fought alongside ancient humans, broke from the treaty and formed an alliance with Earth. The Veil hegemony responded by deploying their fleet to completely quarantine the Sol system. On the Nemesis's bridge, Maya studied tactical displays with Sanvi and Admiral Helena Vasquez, her former mentor and now Earth's military commander. "The hegemony controls the major hyperspace junctions," Vasquez noted. "They can isolate us from potential allies." "We don't need the junctions," Maya replied, her voice carrying newfound confidence from the integrated Guardian memories. "The Nemesis uses different navigation principles. We can bypass their blockade." "And do what exactly?" Vasquez challenged. "Start an interstellar war while this collapse approaches. We should negotiate." "The hegemony has no interest in negotiation," Sanvi interjected, still bearing scars from her captivity. "They've been manipulating events for centuries." Before Vasquez could respond, a transmission arrived from Kvorn, now commanding a resistance vessel. The collapse has accelerated its advance, the massive alien reported gravely. 3 outpost systems have gone silent. But I've discovered something crucial. The collapse isn't simply destructive. It's parasitic, absorbing consciousness into itself. Sanvi's eyes widened. That changes everything. If it's parasitic, it can be starved. While Maya coordinated with alien allies, opposition grew from within humanity itself. Protests erupted in major cities, led by the Earthers' First Movement demanding neutrality in what they called an alien conflict. In her private quarters, Maya struggled with the torrent of Guardian memories, recollections of battles fought millennia ago, the faces of comrades long dead, tactical knowledge beyond current human science. The memories brought nightmares of watching planets die, entire species being consumed by the encroaching darkness. Sanvi found her staring hollow-eyed at star charts. You're pushing yourself too hard. The original Guardians trained for decades, Maya confessed. I'm trying to compress that into weeks. You don't have to carry this alone, Sanvi reminded her. Their moment was interrupted by an urgent summons. In the briefing room, Admiral Vasquez waited with several officials. We've reached a consensus, Vasquez announced. Earth will pursue a defensive posture only. No offensive operations against the hegemony. We'll fortify Sol and observe this collapse threat before committing forces. That's exactly what the hegemony wants, Maya argued. For us to remain isolated while they prepare their own defenses. Defenses that failed last time. This isn't your decision, Commander, Vasquez replied coldly. The governments of Earth have spoken. As Maya turned to leave, her enhanced senses detected something, a subtle variance in Vasquez's neural patterns visible through her Guardian perception. The realization struck with horrifying clarity. How long have they had you? Maya asked quietly. Vasquez's expression didn't change. I don't know what you mean. The hegemony. Their neural tampering. I can see it now. The room erupted in chaos. Security forces Maya had once trusted surrounded her, weapons drawn. Vasquez's eyes hardened. The hegemony has been among us for generations, she revealed, guiding human development, ensuring we never remembered. Your awakening threatens everything. Vorn's warning came too late. Hegemony sleeper agents had activated throughout Earth's military. Fighting broke out on 6 continents as humanity fractured between those embracing their Guardian heritage and those manipulated to reject it. From orbit, Maya watched in anguish as hegemony forces struck key Earth installations. Then long-range sensors detected something far worse, a massive energy signature approaching the outer solar system. Not Concord chips, but a hegemony superweapon targeting Earth's sun. They'd rather destroy Sol than let humans remember. Vorn growled from the communication screen. Maya made her decision. Prepare the Nemesis for intercept. We end this now. Darkness. Absolute and complete. Maya had expected death when the Nemesis collided with the hegemony superweapon. The resulting explosion had saved Earth's sun but consumed both vessels in a cascade of destructive energy. Yet instead of oblivion, she found herself aware, conscious without form, floating in a void that seemed to extend infinitely. Not alone came a thought that wasn't hers. Presences surrounded her, dozens, then hundreds, then thousands of distinct consciousnesses, human yet ancient. The fallen guardians, one explained, its thoughts tinged with millennia of patience, those who sacrificed themselves in the First War. Understanding flooded through Maya's disembodied awareness. She hadn't died. She had been absorbed by the collapse itself. Yet unlike other consciousnesses it had consumed, human minds retained their integrity within its lightless realm. We have fought from within for 50,000 years, another guardian explained. Fragmented, we could only slow its return. With you, we are whole again. The ancient guardians shared their knowledge, how to navigate this impossible space between dimensions, how to resist the pressure of dissolution, how to fight back against the entity that had consumed them. The collapse feeds on consciousness, they explained, but human consciousness is poison to it. With their guidance, Maya learned to extend her awareness beyond the collapse, perceiving the physical universe outside. She witnessed Sanvi leading the resistance on Earth, uniting humanity behind their guardian heritage. She saw Kivorn rallying Concord species against the now exposed hegemony. And she watched as the collapse consumed 3 Concord core worlds in a single day, including the hegemony's homeworld. The surviving hegemony leaders, faced with extinction, formally withdrew all exceptions against humans from the treaty. Now the ancient guardians instructed, while it is weakened by our collective resistance, find the path. Maya concentrated, focusing her essence into a singular point of will. She tore through the fabric of the collapse, creating a breach between dimensions. Light flooded in, real, physical light. As she forced herself back into corporeal form, she awakened on a Concord medical ship, her body transformed. Patches of her skin shimmered with traces of the collapse's darkness, her eyes now containing pinpoints of light like captured stars. Medical staff backed away in fear as she rose from the examination table. "I need to speak with Earth's leaders," she said, her voice resonating with echoes of the ancient guardians. "And the Concord Council." Immediately. 2 months later, Maya stood on the Bridge of Defiance, Earth's first purpose-built guardian vessel. Sanvi commanded the Science Division, developing hybrid technologies that combined ancient human weapons with innovations from a dozen worlds. Kivorn led the Allied Concord forces, his species now Earth's strongest advocate. "The containment field is ready," Sanvi reported. "All ships in position." Through the viewport, Maya could see hundreds of vessels, human and alien, arranged in a precise formation around a swirling vortex of darkness. The collapse, partially contained by technologies derived from both ancient guardian knowledge and modern innovation. "This isn't just a battle for survival," Maya addressed the combined fleet. "This is a battle for consciousness itself. Every mind, every species, every form of awareness in our galaxy." She turned to the specially trained corps of human consciousness warriors beside her, volunteers who would follow her into the collapse itself. The treaty had one exception: humans. Today we show the galaxy why. The battle unfolded across multiple dimensions, conventional forces maintaining the physical containment while Maya led her team into the heart of darkness. The cost was devastating. Thousands of lives lost, ships destroyed, minds forever altered by contact with the collapse. But in its aftermath came an unexpected discovery within the collapse's core. Evidence that it had been created as a weapon by a civilization from beyond the galaxy. A greater threat might someday come. In response, a new universal treaty was drafted, with no exceptions. The document acknowledged a fundamental truth. Every species had unique strengths and weaknesses, and the galaxy's defense required all of them. Humanity took its place, not as the galaxy's masters or its outcasts, but as its guardians, the exception that proved the rule that diversity itself was the ultimate defense against extinction.